We're taking some extra time to give thanks to our frontline workers this morning who have been working to exhaustion to keep us protected from COVID-19 since Canada confirmed its first case a year ago today. Chelsy Vanderberg is an emergency room nurse at Grey Nuns Hospital in Edmonton. We've spoken with Chelsy a few times over the course of this pandemic, and she's back again with us this morning. And Chelsy, full disclosure, you and I have spoken more than that because you are married to my nephew, so I know you well.
That's right. That's right.
Just to update everybody where you're living, there are 279 people with COVID-19 in Edmonton hospitals right now. That's according to your provincial data. How have things changed in hospital since the pandemic began a year ago? When you cast your mind back a year, what are some of the differences that stand out?
A year ago, it seemed almost like a full panic, even though the numbers that we had were not that high at all. It was this new virus, this new thing that we were thrown and had to deal with. And it seemed like every single day when we'd show up to work, there was new changes. Like one day you'd work your day, you'd go home. The next day there'd be something totally new that you had to put into place in order just to prepare for the numbers that we anticipated coming. Not that we saw the numbers that we thought then, but we're definitely seeing those numbers now. So it's definitely, we've come a long way as far as being prepared, and the way that even our department is set up. I would say that we're handling it much more smoothly because we've had a whole year to kind of prepare for it. So I would say that it's definitely being handled more smoothly because we know what to expect at this point.
Well, you got the first dose of the vaccine a couple of weeks ago. What was that experience like for you? Because we have followed your posts, we've heard your interviews, you talking about the stress and the strain doing your job in the midst of the pandemic. What was that like to get the shot in the arm?
It was, oh man, it still brings tears to my eyes because it was really overwhelming. When I walked into the room, well, because it was, we were seeing other people get their vaccines and we're thinking, okay, our turn's coming, our turn's coming. So the anticipation was really exciting. And then when I walked into the room to get the shot, it was just like, whoa, emotion just like overtook me. And I was extremely grateful and really proud. I was really, really proud to be considered somebody so worthy of getting the first wave, because I do know that there are, millions of people in the world that need this thing. So
you were part of the push to get paramedics vaccinated in this first round as well, because they were not part of that. And your husband, Trev, is a paramedic as well. You guys have two young, beautiful kids. How has this past year been on your family?
I would say that it's definitely been a roller coaster. There have been, in the beginning, again, it was really, really scary, it seemed, and we considered, you hear people living in fifth wheel trailers on their front pad. And Trev and I had that conversation of, oh goodness, is this something we need to consider because there's two of us? Then fast forward and things seemed a little bit more controlled, I guess. And then being able to spend time with our kiddos because we're not busy going anywhere. You can't really go anywhere. That's been nice, but missing family and still coming home every day to check for symptoms and make sure we've washed everything. I would say that's not gotten any easier, but this vaccine has definitely been a benefit for us for sure.
As parents, we want to do everything we can to protect our kids. I can't imagine walking through the front door every day going, am I going to spread COVID to my kids today because of where I've been working?
Yeah, that's really tough. It's really tough. And, even with having the vaccine and still possibly being able to carry this virus or bring it home to me on my clothes, it's pretty terrifying. And even though kids, their symptoms seem minor, it doesn't mean they're not getting sick. So you can't help but feel responsible, or this feeling of guilt, if you were to be the reason your kid got sick. Yeah.
Chelsy, our last question really quickly in the moments we have left. What have you learned about yourself in this past year?
I was speaking with one of your producers, and I'd said to him that I really learned that I have limits. A couple of months ago, I was having all sorts of symptoms and like chest pain and headaches. And I thought, oh my goodness, what's going on? I must be tired or whatever. And after actually being seen by a doctor, it boiled down to the fact that it was stress. And I had never had a physiological experience of stress. And it was really humbling almost to know that we all have limits and we all have breaking points. And the way I was raised is, when you get down, you get back up and you just keep going and you keep going and you keep going. And I think what I've learned, and my husband's learned and my coworkers have learned is that we have limits, and we have to really, really be aware of how far we can push ourselves before we need to take a step back and say, like, we're not okay. We need a break. So, yeah, I would say that was humbling.
Chelsy, from all of us here to you and your family, thank you so much for everything that you both are doing and your colleagues are doing every single day, and for making time to come on the program and talk with us. Keep doing your posts, and I hope you keep coming back for interviews, and a big hug to you and Trev.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
We'll see you hopefully soon in person. Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.